Hello friends, a very warm welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to talk about a company called Motherson Sumi Wiring. This company manufactures wire harnesses for different automobiles in India. It's a group company of a well-renowned group called Motherson. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon to get updates of all the new videos that we upload. Here is a small disclaimer as per SEBI regulations. You can pause the video and read it. We'll discuss the video in three parts. In the first part, we'll talk about the business of the company. In the second part, we'll discuss the financials. And in the third part, we'll talk about the valuations of the stock. So Motherson Sumi Wiring manufactures wiring harnesses. So the entire electrical network of a vehicle, whether it is the music system or the lighting, ADAS system, everything is connected through wiring harnesses. In the human body, the way we have the nervous system, in the vehicles we have wiring harnesses, and this company manufactures that, and that is why this particular component is very critical for any vehicle, whether it is two-wheeler or a four-wheeler. This is totally a domestic business because they are selling only to domestic OEMs in India, and this is a joint venture company of the Motherson Group as well as the Sumitomo Group of Japan. This company was demerged from Samvardhana Motherson in 2020. They have 30 manufacturing facilities and they are further setting up some greenfield projects. The main important raw material for this company is copper, and as you see that the metal prices are rising, this is putting pressure on the margins of the company. Of course, this company has arrangements to pass on this increased raw material cost, but generally it happens with a lag. So during that particular phase, the margins get compressed. It is an assembly business. The company has limited pricing power, and they also have competition with different multinational companies. In terms of market share, this company has 40% market share in India. So it's a market leader in India. When it comes to the normal growth of this company, it totally depends on the auto industry, the way the number of vehicles increase. Then the same manufacturing impact comes on the harnesses also. Other than that, as we are transitioning from ICE engines to EV vehicles, as we are installing more and more electronic components in the vehicles, the content per vehicle increases. That also increases the business of this company. Right now, this company does revenue of around 6% from EVs. This will keep increasing every year gradually. Now, what is a wiring harness? As you can see from the photo, it is a bundle of wires with different connectors and terminals. So this is specifically designed for every vehicle when the company is designing that vehicle. So Motherson, along with the OEM, co-develop these designs of these harnesses, and once it is developed and comes into production, till that vehicle keeps getting manufactured or sold for many years together, Motherson continues to remain the vendor for that OEM. So it is a sticky relationship for a long period of time. So this is a broad business model of this company. It starts with getting orders from the OEMs, whether it is four-wheeler or two-wheeler OEMs. Then the company, along with the OEM, co-develops the design. Once the design is developed, they start assembling the harnesses, and their plants are situated near to the manufacturing plants of the OEMs. So they deliver just in time the products, and their sale or their growth totally depends on the number of vehicles that are getting manufactured. Out of the total revenue mix, passenger vehicle constitutes about 60% of the revenue. Around 10% comes from commercial vehicles, 13% comes from two-wheelers, and the rest from the others. Now, the growth of this industry mainly depends on 2 points. The first is the number of vehicles which get manufactured in India. So as the number of vehicles manufactured increases, the business of this company keeps growing and the industry size keeps growing. And recently, if you have observed in the recent months, two-wheelers as well as the four-wheelers, the top few OEMs are delivering double-digit growth. Then how much wiring or harness is going into a particular vehicle, that also determines the size of the industry. So as we are installing more and more electronic components in a vehicle, as the vehicles are getting more and more smarter, the content per vehicle is also increasing, which is increasing the industry size. As the industry moves towards premiumization, they make the vehicles more and more equipped with more electronic components. Whatever was done manually becomes electronic. So that also increases the size of the industry. When you talk about competition, Motherson is a leader with 40% market share. And along with Motherson, there are few 4-5 players which together sell 90% of the products in this industry. A few of those players are Kongshin, Yazaki, the Minda Corp group, which is from India, Dhoot Transmission, and Aptiv. Now, in such a competitive industry, what is the competitive edge of this company? It is not easy to get approvals from the OEMs. It takes a lot of years. And once you get approval, it becomes a sticky relationship for many years till the vehicles are sold. Motherson Group has a worldwide presence, a long history. So their parentage gives a strong edge of this company to penetrate into the new OEMs. They have the capability to work with the OEMs right from the design stage and co-develop the design, and they have plants spread across different OEMs right beside their original manufacturing facility. So the OEMs naturally prefer Motherson because they get deliveries on time. Now, what are the growth plans of the company going forward? The growth depends on how the auto industry is growing, and right now we are all aware that the auto industry is doing well in India, growing in double digits, both two-wheelers and four-wheelers. Then it also wants to focus on increasing the content per vehicle, which will increase the revenue of this company. They are adding more and more greenfield facilities, increasing their capacities. FY26, the Capex target is around 220 crores. However, the FY27 Capex target they would reveal in the fourth quarter earnings call. They are not giving any specific revenue or margin guidance. These are some manufacturing facilities which are coming up or which recently got operational. Now, what are the risks of investing in this business? Auto industry is a bit cyclical, so that this brings cyclicality in the business of this company also. Their main commodity or raw material, which is copper, has seen increase in the price trend, which is impacting the margins of the company. It is an assembly business. That's why it is not so complicated, and you see that the margins of the company are also not that impressive. And EV transition right now it is growing, but not at a very fast pace. In case the EV transition gets delayed or slowed down due to any other technology coming up, that could be a risk. The company imports lot of components and parts to manufacture their products. So the rupee depreciation is increasing the raw material cost for this company. And as they work with select bunch of big OEMs, in case the relationship with that OEMs gets spoiled, that could be a customer concentration risk. Before we move forward, if you have not joined our Telegram channel, please do join today by clicking the link in the description so that you join the correct Telegram channel. Every day before the market opens, I share my view on the market and lot of other strategies to increase your portfolio returns. More than 10,000 people are daily in touch with me through our Telegram channel. Coming to the financials, we see a steady growth in revenue in the last 5 years from 5,600 crores in FY22 to about 10,600 crores in the trailing 12 months. So in the last 3 years, we see a CAGR in terms of revenue growth of about 18%, which is pretty decent for this size of a company. EBITDA has shown decent growth in the years from FY22 to 24. But in the last 2 years, EBITDA is more or less stable. This is because we see a margin compression. The margin has fallen from the range of 12-13% to around 10% now. This is due to various reasons like increasing raw material prices of copper. The greenfield plants which are now setting up are still not ramped up, so the costs are more in the initial years. So because of these kind of reasons, the margins are a little under pressure. It's a dividend paying company, debt free company, so with a dividend yield of about 1.5%. The return ratios are very strong because the setting up a plant does not need much of Capex. It is more of a labor intensive business. Promoter holding is also decent, around 61%. They are managing their working capital well. The cash flow is okay, not very impressive. The conversion from EBITDA to OPCF in the last 5 years has been about 46%. The only thing which we have to look at is there are a lot of transactions with the group entities because there are purchases from the group entities which are situated outside India. So the related party transactions are a lot. Sometimes there are common expenses between the group entities and they are allocated proportionally among all the group entities. So these kind of gray areas are things where we have to be careful as investors. But the group has a very good reputation built over the several years. So this does not automatically become a red flag for us. Post the demerger, the company has given bonus twice. That is why the share price appears to be so small. Coming to the last part, which is valuations, which is the most critical as well as interesting part. We saw a sharp fall in the stock price from 53, which was the all-time high, to around 36 now. So 53 zone is kind of a strong resistance zone for the stock, and 30 rupees could be a strong support zone for the stock. This fall in the stock price could be because of the margin pressure mainly, where we saw that the revenue grew, but the margins and profits were under pressure. And the new plants ramp up is getting a bit delayed, which is causing a concern to the investors. Other than that, the market sentiment has also not been very good. Right now, the stock trades at an EV EBITDA of around 23x and price to earnings of about 39x. EV EBITDA will be more relevant in this case because they keep doing Capex continuously and the depreciation figure is generally large for this company. So if you're an investor who is already holding the stock, you should continue to hold because it's a fundamentally strong company and there is decent visibility of growth in the auto industry in India. And if you're looking at a fresh entry, the valuations at the current level are slightly expensive. Technically also around 30 zone is a strong support zone. So if there is a small correction from this, you can definitely gradually consider accumulating this stock from a long-term perspective. So that's about Motherson Sumi Wiring. I've tried to compile all the important points in a very simple fashion in a small 10 to 12 minute video. If you like it, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. If you want me to make more videos on your favorite stocks, do mention the names in the comment section. Do join our Telegram channel. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.